deforestation in Africa. My talk includes five main parts. What is deforestation and why I chose to talk about deforestation in Africa, the status of deforestation in Africa, the causes, the effects, and the solution for this issue. So first, what is deforestation? Deforestation is an act of cutting, burning, or exploiting forests. And Africa is the world's largest global forest area, but also the most impacted by deforestation. So I chose this topic as the most typical example of how our wildlands are in danger now. Deforestation affected Africa a lot, making this continent lost the highest percentage of tropical forests of any continent from 1980s to the early 2000s. And 4 million hectares of trees have been cut down, estimated to be occurring at twice the world average rate, and only 22.8% of most forest remain in this continent. So what are the causes of deforestation in Africa? There are 4 main drivers of deforestation in this continent. The first is agriculture expansion. Africa produces nearly 3 million tons of cocoa every year, require huge amounts of land. Many trees have been cut down for cocoa production. Another resource in Africa is palm oil. This continent accounts for 24% of the world, and the expansion had devastating effects on African forests. The second driver is commercial logging and failing government policies. Many trees have been cut down in Africa to extract timber, to build houses and furniture, and for pulp, a crucial resource to produce paper. And logging also opens the way for extraction to international companies. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, government issues illegal logging to local and foreign companies, increasing the rate of deforestation in this country. The next reason is charcoal burning. In Africa, charcoal is the main cooking fuel for urban populations. Charcoal also responsible for high carbon emissions. And as deforestation intensifies as the demand of charcoal increases. And Zambia is the more impacted country where both rural and urban households rely heavily on charcoal for cooking and heating. The last driver of deforestation in Africa is encroachment for settlement. Africa's population is the world's fastest growing, with a growth rate with nearly 3%. Many trees have been cleared to create settlement and to build houses and infrastructure. With these reasons, many consequences are caused. The climate, ecosystem, and biodiversity are seriously impacted. Deforestation reduces the forest's ability to absorb carbon dioxide, which causes air pollution. It also generates rainfall, exposing land and severe droughts. Kenya is the most impacted country by severe droughts, where the deforestation had increased in recent years. Biodiversity is also highly compromised, and animals are some of the biggest victims. Some animals such as chimpanzees, pygmy elephants, lions, and gorillas are facing a high risk of extinction and decreasing population numbers. Not only in Africa, deforestation is now a serious problem all over the world. Over 420 million hectares of global forests have been lost, and Southeast Asia is losing at least 1.2% of its most efficient way is to plant trees. There is the Red River Initiative. An ambitious plan was launched in 2007 to plant millions of trees across an 8,000 kilometers long corridor in the Sahel. Reducing using paper, avoiding palm oil, and buying certified wooden products also help prevent deforestation. Support indigenous rights, use renewable energy, and volunteer donate if you have conditions. And to do these things, people have to raise their compassion and take responsibility to the environment. These two are also the 2 out of 8 core valuables of MIS. Compassion is loving and caring, like what we have to do to the environment. Responsibility is taking care and being responsible for our lives. So just love your life and everything around you. Just do your best to save the forest and save our future. And this is the end of my speech. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Andy, for shedding light for this present environmental issue. Please listen to Mr. Zui question from you.
Alright, so we have come to the last contestant, and I really love the content of your speech, which is about deforestation in Africa. Actually, it is a quite challenging topic for anyone to choose. And my first question for you is, what was the most difficult part of preparing this speech?
I think it's finding the information to talk about this because there are many resources, so I have to reach them and put them in my presentation.
Okay, and another question. If the other contestants only talks about only one core value of research, and in your speech I can see there are 2, compassion and responsibility. So, what is one thing you hope we will remember after your speech?
I just want the audience to remember that raise compassion and bring responsibility to protect our earth from deforestation.